Good evening, everybody, depending on where you are sitting right now to watch this presentation on Alaska by Rail and Beyond with Railbookers. My name is Kyle Smith, and I will be your host today. So thank you again for taking the time to watch this presentation. Our attendance numbers are still climbing here, so I'm just going to hang out here for just a moment, and then we'll go ahead and continue. And before we go ahead and get started, if you would take note of our reservations telephone number at the bottom right-hand side of your screen at 888-829-3040 and our website at www.railbookers.com. That would be great. You're going to find a lot of information there and much more, including everything we're going to go through today. Now, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, go ahead and put those into the question box inside the GoToWebinar control grid, and I can see those. So go ahead and whatever questions you have, submit them there, and I'll provide you all an answer at the end. Only I can see the questions, so ask away accordingly here. I do have a handout for you as well if you'd like to download that. We do have our Railbookers Pick Your Perk promotion going on right now, so please download that and you can review for that for later. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So we're going to immediately begin with our maximum flexibility offer. This is, just what everybody wants to know right now who's booking vacations. What is the cancellation policy as we continue to navigate through the pandemic? So we do want to make it simple for people. Just real quickly here, if you decide to make a reservation with us in the next few weeks, or maybe you already have one, you're here tonight to learn a little bit more, and we thank you for that. You have up until 5 days before departure to either cancel or reschedule your trip, and there will be no penalty to do so. I mean, everybody has different things they need to think about, and we do want to keep that easy for you if you do make reservations with us, but then need to modify or change it. So keep that in mind. And I'd like to introduce you to our entire organization, which consists of the Yankee Leisure Group, which has 3 distinct brands. The most recognizable here will be Amtrak Vacations, by far our largest brand. Our company is the official tour operator for Amtrak, doing hotel packages and sightseeing activities with round trip rail on Amtrak. And Railbookers, we focus more on international rail travel, including Alaska, since Alaska does not have Amtrak service up there. So that falls under our Railbookers brand. But we do more than just Alaska. We do Canada, Europe, Asia, and beyond. We're not really going to get into Europe and all that today, given how Alaska is one of our top booking destinations right now. Now, if you'd like any brochures sent your way, you can request those online by going to amtrakvacations.com, railbookers.com. We have digital copies of those, and we're going to go ahead and email them out to you so you can have that for your records. Now, our entire booking window, before I get into all the different packages and destinations, is from tomorrow to 24 months in advance. And so we book well in advance, regardless of what's going on in the world. So this has always been one of our key strengths, and even so, more importantly now with the pandemic continuing on here. So anyone who's looking to travel, you can travel this year, you can travel in 2022, and even in beyond into 2023. Depending on what you want to do there. So, everybody that's making reservations right now, we got people that are reserving this week that are set to travel in the next 90 days and even before that, depending on the destination. So if you are just sick and tired of being home all the time and want to do something, you can jump on a rail vacation tomorrow or into the weekend or whenever, all the way out into 24 months in advance. So if you're waiting for vaccines to further come out or and things to settle down throughout the world, can't blame you for that, of course, then by all means, you can book into 24 months in advance and travel that far in advance as well. So keep all that in mind. And what we offer are full-on vacation packages that include rail transportation, as well as hotels, sightseeing activities, ferries, excursions, and overnight rail journeys. And so we're going to go ahead and dive right into the Alaska Railroad and what all of that is about. And so Alaska Railroad is the only rail service up in Alaska to go from the major cities to national parks, and it is the main means of transportation here. And so Alaska Railroad is a great train. It'll take you from Anchorage, for example, down all the way into the Seward area, all the way up through Talkeetna, Denali National Park, and even as far north as Fairbanks. And so pretty much everything you would want to do up in Alaska, you can pretty much do on board the Alaska Railroad. It's a great alternative to travel right now. I know the cruise industry is really struggling right now and so forth. And so when it comes to Alaska, you can still go there if you'd like and see it all by land. And that's what we're encouraging here. And this is exactly what Alaska Railroad is doing right now to maintain a safe environment. They do require a facial covering and a mask to be worn on board the train, as well as at the train stations right now. Really no different from everything we see in our everyday lives. They are staggering the boarding processes a bit. So people board the train from the front, the middle, and the rear. To allow for social distancing. They're booking the trains at only 50% capacity as well. So you're going to not be shoulder to shoulder with somebody on board the train outside of your own immediate family, of course. And they've increased the cleaning and sanitation on board the train. So they're filtering in fresh air every couple of minutes. They're disinfecting the bathrooms pretty much after each use, and so on. So they've done a really good job with pulling together their COVID-19 response. And these are just a few of the things you can expect to see if you decide to travel up there this year. So when it comes to the traveling on the train itself, you have two different classes of seating to sit in. The first one is the adventure class. And this is an interesting an accommodation on board the train here. The seats recline back at a 45-degree angle, so that's going to give you a space and comfort when you're on board the train. If you look closely in that photo to the right, there's no middle seat, so you're either on the window or you're on the aisle. And then, of course, you have the opportunity to roam the train. You can go over to the observation car, which is photoed here on the left. You can go over into the Wilderness Cafe. You can get yourself something to eat or drink. And that's one of the hidden perks of rail travel, is you're not stuck in your seat the whole time like you are on a motor coach or on an airplane. So you're encouraged to roam the train, and that's exactly what you can do here. Now, your other option for accommodations is the Gold Star service, the highest upgrade on board the Alaska Railway. And when you sit in the Gold Star service, your seats are a little bit bigger. They still recline back at a 45-degree angle. You have a full dome observation car, and meal vouchers will be included in your reservation, so you can have food and beverage on board the train at no additional cost. So some good amenities right there, simply by upgrading to the Gold Star service. But again, one of the benefits of traveling on the Alaska Railroad is you see the state in a way you cannot see if you're in a motor coach, or obviously if you're on a cruise ship. And so the Alaska Railroad goes through some more of the remote terrain of Alaska, giving you plenty of opportunity to see wildlife and the remote countryside itself. And so it's definitely a unique experience. So one of the more popular packages we have for Alaska right now is the Alaska Adventure with Alaska Railroad. This is a 9-day itinerary, and this one begins in Anchorage with a 2-night stay. Now, if you look closely there, the number of nights you see in all the different cities that are highlighted in blue, those represent the number of nights. And then the dotted line is the rail portion. So that's how you read this map. So you'll notice it's a total of 4 nights in Anchorage, but that's all broken out. So you're going to spend 2 upon arrival. And when you're in Anchorage, we can set up a transfer from the airport to your hotel in the downtown area. It's not included here in the package, but we can do that for you. That's that customization we're able to bring. So definitely let us know if you need that. And then, of course, we'll give you some activities to do while you're in town. And that will include the Anchorage Trolley Tour. And so this departs pretty much every hour and will take you all around the downtown area. You'll have the opportunity to go out to Earthquake Park. Back in the 1960s, Anchorage took a 9.5 earthquake back in the 1960s. I think it's the biggest earthquake on record. I'm in California, born and raised, and that's where I currently reside. And the biggest I've ever seen was 7.5, and that was memorable. And so this was a massive earthquake back in the 60s. So you get to go out to Earthquake Park and see the epicenter for that and so forth. You'll have plenty of opportunity to see the airplanes taking off from the lake, those water landings, and learn about the history of Anchorage before you begin your journey on board Alaska Railroad. Okay, so you board the Alaska Railroad in Anchorage and you'll be heading south towards Seward. And this is a little bit of the scenery that you're going to see along the way. You'll see waterfalls and lakes and snow-capped mountains, and you're definitely out there in the wilderness, and you'll be arriving into Seward just a couple of hours later, which is a major cruise port and the key access point to the Kenai Fjords National Park. And so you'll be spending the night down here in Seward, and we'll have you guys staying at the Windsong Lodge, which is about a mile from the train depot. And then, of course, it's not too far from the Kenai Fjords National Park. So it's a great lodge. It has over 200 rooms, been around a long time, great place to be for the one-night stay. And then the following day, you're going to do the Kenai Fjords National Park tour. It's a half-day tour, so you're going to get out there and go out through the Kenai Fjords, see a little bit of Resurrection Bay before you jump back on the train, heading back up into Anchorage for your third night in Anchorage. And then the following morning, you're going to board Alaska Railroad again. You'll be making your way northbound this time towards Talkeetna, which is a great town. It is known for its rich mining history. It's definitely one of those small, quaint towns you have to visit when you're in Alaska. And the city is what I call a hidden gem. There's so much to see there. It is definitely rural and remote for the most part, but the key activity to do in Talkeetna, which we have included here, is the dog sledding adventures. And so you'll get to do that when you're visiting Talkeetna, and you're just a stone's throw away from Denali National Park. And so you'll have plenty of downtime to roam around the city on your own and do the things that you want to do. Here's another great shot of Talkeetna, and then you'll be staying at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. It's just outside the city center from the downtown area, but not far from the train depot. And this hotel offers shuttle services into the downtown area, and they'll even drop you off at the train station so you can catch the next train. So great property you'll be at. Real quickly on hotels before I forget, we do offer 3, 4, and 5-star rated hotels. We highly recommend these because of their convenience to the train station. So you'll be back on board the Alaska Railroad after Talkeetna, heading north into Denali National Park, which is one of the highlights of this destination, of course. And Denali National Park is one of our larger national parks, home to Mount McKinley, the highest elevated point in North America. And so there's over 6 million acres of rural area to see. And this is I think I said anchors and I meant acres anyway, but a great opportunity to see this national park up close and personal. And the key and the best way to do this is on the full day tour of Denali National Park, which we'll include here for you. So you will spend the day on this bus service that will take you 100 miles into Denali National Park. Lunch will be included on this tour. You'll have plenty of opportunities to see wildlife. The tour will stop at multiple parts throughout the park, so you can go hunting for gold like you see here, and many other attractions. There's some hiking opportunities. It really is a full day adventure. And one of the things I like about this tour is that they will point out wildlife as they see it. And so it's not uncommon to see those grizzly bears out there. And if so, the bus can make a stop and point it out. So bring your binoculars, you'll be able to see that. And this is obviously what Alaska is known for. They got tons and tons of grizzly bears. But then after your tour, you're going to be staying inside the Denali Cabins for a 2-night stay. And the Denali Cabins are inside the national park, and it looks like a campground, but this is a full-blown hotel with all the modern amenities that you're going to want. Everything from room service to Wi-Fi, shuttle transportation, and more. So you'll be camped up here for the 2 nights. And then after this package, you would be getting back on the Alaska Railroad, heading back towards Anchorage. We do have an extension, though, that I want to share with you. that will go up into Fairbanks, our Grand Alaska adventure, just a 10-day program at this point. So everything as before, except you take it all the way into Fairbanks for a 2-night stay, known as the City of the Northern Lights. And so if you want to see Fairbanks, we can definitely set that up for you. Just a rail journey north into this great town, and we have lots of different activities you can do from there and so forth. We are running our Pick Your Perk promotion right now. So on select packages, you can get some credits to be able to upgrade to 5-star tours. If you want to upgrade your room category or the accommodations on the train, you have that ability as well. And so another package I want to share with you today is the highlights of Alaska with Alaska Railroad. This is a 7-day itinerary, very similar to what we've already outlined, except this one sticks between Anchorage and Denali National Park. So a little bit shorter than what I've already shown you. And I'll go a little quicker through this one because we've already discussed these. You still have a 4-night stay in Anchorage, 2 upon arrival, and then the 3rd and 4th night are broken out. And from here, you'll take a day trip into Seward on board the railroad. So you can do the Resurrection Bay tour. So we don't do the trip through the national park. You'll spend the day out there on the Gulf of Alaska. So you'll be going through out of Seward, past Thumb Cove, Fox Island, Cape Resurrection, and the Resurrection Bay. You'll see the glaciers and everything up close and personal. And then lunch will be included. You get back on the train, you go back up into Anchorage. And then of course you'll be heading up into Denali National Park for your 2-night stay, just like I outlined earlier. Okay, so those are just a few of the things that I wanted to share with you for Alaska Railroad and our great packages that we have up there. I got through this pretty quickly, so if it's all right with you, I'd like to spend a few minutes just giving you a highlight on Amtrak vacations with some of our key destinations that we have here at home in the lower 48, as our sister company is Amtrak Vacations. And I'm going to start with the Amtrak Vacation System map here. We're just going to spend a few minutes doing this. And so here in the lower 48, Amtrak is your main means of rail travel around the country. So just out of curiosity, real quickly here, I would like to catch my breath for a minute, but where is everybody tuning in from tonight? So I'm in Southern California. Just kind of curious where you guys are all at, if you wouldn't mind sharing that. So Parker, Colorado, okay. St. Louis, San Diego, so not far from here. Wisconsin, Gainesville, Florida. That's where my mom is from. Great. Dallas, Boston, NorCal, Honolulu. Very good. All right. So we're all over the place here. That's fantastic. Well, I'm sorry, Hawaii, but you don't have Amtrak. You have your own rail system there. But here in the mainland, you've got Amtrak services available for you. So if you wanted to go anywhere on board the Amtrak, you certainly could. And you can take these trains to the national parks, the major cities, and so on. So let me give you Amtrak's COVID-19 response. They are, like the Alaska Railroad I've already outlined, they are enhancing the cleaning. They are doing face coverings. They are limiting the number of bookings and filtering in fresh air every couple of minutes. And the key thing about Amtrak is still running right now. Even back in March of 2020, when this all got started, the trains are still operational. So they are funded through the federal government, the U.S. Department of Transportation. So they are quote unquote essential government services. And so you can still take a train if you wanted to go in the next few weeks or the next few months, you certainly can. So keep all that in mind. Let me give you guys a glimpse into the different sleeping options on board Amtrak here. And I am seeing some questions about that. So Amtrak's basic accommodation to sleep on the train is called a roomette. And this is a private room for 2 people, that these 2 chairs that face each other, they become the bottom bunk. The top bunk comes out of the ceiling, and if you look closely over here, let me turn on my laser pointer. If you look right here, there is a door that can slide shut, so you're going to have some privacy. And then the bathroom and the shower, those are all down the hall, just a couple of steps down the hall, and you have your bathroom and shower amenities. And a good thing about this is not only do you have access to a shower in your own bed, but your meals are included on board the train as well. Okay. Next upgraded option is the bedroom, the full hotel room on the train, I like to call it. The bedroom, being the higher upgrade, it does have the bathroom and the shower inside the room for complete and total privacy. So you can have that option as well. And I'm noticing your question here, June. This is Amtrak, actually. This isn't Alaska Railroad. I decided to share a little bit of Amtrak vacations, so I kind of got off our Alaska track a little bit. So I hope that is pretty obvious here, but you know, if I can clarify anything, let me know. Amtrak is also accessible, ADA accessible. So if anybody is in a wheelchair, has a walker, that kind of a thing, perfect, thank you. Then Amtrak can assist you with that as well. And like most trains, you can have dining services on board the train. And you have different meal options, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they'll serve you in your roomette or your bedrooms on board the train here. Okay, so the package I'm going to go through today that I only have time for right now is going to be the Grand National Parks with Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. This is a 13-day itinerary round trip out of Chicago. Now, Chicago is Amtrak's main hub. It's all the rails go in and out of there. So keep all that in mind. If you're in the West Coast already, or perhaps you're in the East Coast, we can definitely get you on the train to Chicago to begin the adventure here. But the first destination will be Yellowstone National Park, and America's oldest national park. So this will highlight the California Zephyr line coming out of Chicago into the Salt Lake City area. And it's the closest you can get to Yellowstone on Amtrak. And you can get the Colorado Rockies going through the train, going through that mountain range there. You'll arrive in the Salt Lake City. We'll put you up in a hotel for the night, and then we'll transfer you up to Yellowstone National Park. And our package up there is 2 nights in duration, and you'll do the lower loop tour, so you can go and see Old Faithful and all the different geysers and hot springs and so on. And then you'll be heading back down into Salt Lake City to jump on the California Zephyr again, and that'll take you all the way out to Yosemite National Park. And so Yosemite, right here in California, our most popular national park. You'll have great views of Half Dome, opportunities to hike up into Glacier Point, and more. And then you'll be on the Southwest Chief, coming out of the Los Angeles area, going to the Grand Canyon, the final destination. When you get into Arizona, our package includes the Grand Canyon Railway, which will then take you north into the South Rim, and you will stay 2 nights on the South Rim. And here's a photo of what that looks like. So plenty of opportunities to go hiking around the canyon and do the things that you guys want to do. And that is our Grand National Parks with Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon. And so for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and just leave it right there with Amtrak Vacations. And are there any questions I could answer for you guys about Alaska or Amtrak in general? Ask away. I'm going to scroll up and down the question box, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, Peter's with us today saying, I like the idea of taking the Alaska Railroad and just confirming that we can customize a trip. If I wanted to do it out of order or add a different night or two, I can do that, right? You certainly can, Peter. Yes, our packages are customizable. So if you want to add another night in Anchorage or Denali National Park, you can totally do that. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see here. Edra is with us today. Are all hotel rooms in Alaska with 2 beds, or can they be requested? No, they can be requested. We can do 1 bed. We can do 2. That's fine. No issue there. Absolutely. Roger's asking us, what about additional tours in Anchorage? I know there's a lot to do there. I may want to do more than just a trolley tour. Do I have that option? Of course you do. Absolutely. I just can't think of the additional tours offhand, but if you give Railbookers a call, you can ask about that, and our team will be happy to assist you. Absolutely. Let's see here. Ben is with us asking, how do I make a reservation for this? Like you mentioned before, we're kind of tired of being home all the time and kind of want to get back to it. I can't blame you for that, Ben. Absolutely. So how to reserve one of these is just give us a call. Let us know your destination or whichever package. We'll price it out for you and just place a deposit, about 200 per person. And then you can make payments to us if you'd like. I mean, you can call in every month and pay off your balance, and then you'll be on your trip. So we're all pretty straightforward here. Absolutely, that's how that would work. All right, let's see here. We have another Mary with us today asking about. Oh, I lost the question. I'm sorry. About Amtrak. Can I take Amtrak from Florida to Chicago to do that National Parks tour? Of course you can, absolutely. Our team will assist you with that. That is definitely something we can do. Okay, Edra, I have a reservation for Switzerland that got canceled for COVID-19. We thought we would be able to go in September, but not so sure now. Can we transfer our payment to Alaska Rail trip instead? Edra, I'm assuming you booked Switzerland with Railbookers. Am I right in that? If so, then yes, you can, that whatever that monetary value is, you can transfer it to Alaska. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Yes, you could reserve that for Alaska instead. That's no problem. So what you should do there is give us a call, and our guest relations team can cancel Switzerland, and we can rebook Alaska for you if you would like to do that. Perfect. Great question. Okay, I might see any. Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely. Appreciate you guys being here today. All right. Well, those are all the questions that I've answered so far, that have come in so far. And unless I'm missing anything, I'm going to start scrolling back up and down. Blaine is with us today. Is the 4 nights on Amtrak a sleeper? It can be, yes. We naturally include only coach in our normal packages because we can't guarantee the sleepers will be available. So we do have to live shop that when you call in. But everybody who does this Grand National Parks tour is always in a sleeper because you're spending multiple days on the train. And so if this is something you're considering, give us a call and let us know when you want to go. We'll throw it together for you. And then, of course, we'll look at the roomettes and the bedroom options. We can give you the price points between the two so you can make an informed decision. All right, let me see if I have anything else here. Good stuff. Okay, well, that's all the questions so far. So a couple of questions for you guys real quick here. Are you guys planning on maybe going to Alaska this year or traveling here at home in the lower 48 by rail? Just kind of curious what you guys are all thinking for your next vacation. Alaska is definitely on the hit list. And yep, okay, seeing that. Okay, yep, very good. Alaska. The national parks would be great. Jerry, how much is the Alaska tour with gold prices? I don't know the prices offhand. I generally don't shop these out for customers. So if you want to give us a call, Jerry, then or we can have a member of our team reach out to you. We can give you that option. Still interested in single booking coming from Mary. Okay. I'm assuming, Mary, you'd be traveling solo, right? We can definitely assist you with that, of course. Very good. Oh, wow, Nancy, very good. So looking to catch up with family, but you traveled with us in the past. Okay, to the Grand Canyon. Well, that's fantastic. Great. Maybe I should give you the microphone. You can give your side of the story on how that trip went. Blaine, are children free or discounted? They are discounted, yes. Amtrak does offer children rates, so you will certainly get those. Jerry, AARP, I don't know. That's a good question, though. I'm not sure if there's an AARP discount. Our travel consultants can tell you that if you decide to give us a call. Okay, well, good stuff, guys. Well, it's been great hanging out with you guys all this evening. If you would like to give us a call, the Railbookers number is 800. Actually, no, the Amtrak Vacations one's 800-268-7252. 800-348-8020 is going to be the Railbookers phone number. So if you guys want to give us a call, by all means, feel free to reach out to us. If you'd like to go and book through your local travel agency, you can do that as well, because we do work with travel agents. So either way would be fine by us. And the last question I have here from Nancy. We'll miss the dining room with people. One of the best parts was meeting. You're outlining your trip here. Very good. Nope, I totally hear you there. Having been on the trains, I agree. I agree with you. Jerry's asking, is it cheaper to book directly with you or go through a travel agency? It's the same. There's no price difference. So you should be able to go either way. You can go right through your travel agency or you can give us a call. I always recommend travel agents because they do have a lot of experience with international travel, and they know everything you're going to need to know about the pandemic and so forth. So I do always kind of encourage people to go that way. They'll book your airfare for you as well. So anyhow, all right, guys. Well, thank you very much for your time tonight, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.